Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. This class today is going to focus on unlocking your hamstrings. So if you're like a lot of people, you might feel like you have some limitations with the amount of stretch that you can get in your hamstrings in your yoga practice. Totally common. Some of it may have to do with inherent factors, just how long your hamstrings are, your basic range of flexibility, but other parts of it might have to do with your technique. So we're going to work a little bit today on understanding technique, ways to approach it, and also some different types of drills and strategies that you can work on to improve your hamstring flexibility. So the first part of the class, this short class, is really just going to be about moving the body and getting warmed up, getting the hamstrings warmed up to be able to stretch. And then we'll take the second half of the class to do some more targeted drills and types of techniques like that to understand how to safely stretch the hamstrings. And a couple of things before we get started. When you want to lengthen the hamstring muscles at the backs of the legs, what you also want to think about is contracting or shortening the quadriceps or thigh muscles at the fronts of the legs. So that's something that you can keep in mind anytime you stretch your hamstrings. Another point that you want to keep in mind is a lot of times we think we have to have the legs completely straight for hamstring stretching. And actually, that's not useful for a lot of people. So keeping a little bit of a softness in the knee, particularly so that you can feel your quadricep, your thigh muscles contract and shorten a little bit, is really, really helpful. It's safer approach, and it just feels better. So for instance, in forward folds, like a standing forward fold, a lot of times people will think that they need to keep their legs completely straight in a forward fold. And usually what ends up happening, and I'm exaggerating a little bit here, is the back ends up rounding. See this curve in the low back? So you're actually getting more of a low back stretch than you are a hamstring stretch, because the pelvis here might be slightly tilted back. And then if you keep your legs back and dump your weight into your heels, you're really not lifting the tops of the hamstrings. You're not mechanically lengthening them from the top. You're keeping your pelvis in more of that fixed position, legs straight and dropping down. So you're really not doing much in the actual hamstring. However, if you bring your hands to your hips, soften the knees a little bit, and actually let the bowl of the pelvis tilt forward, bring some weight into the balls of the feet, you'll see that even though the knees are bent, you can bring your chest toward your thighs and start to actually lift the tops of the hamstrings up. As you push down through your feet, you're going to get a much more productive stretch in the hamstrings, and you will feel that. Okay, so we will get to that a little bit later, but I just want to break that down for you before we get started. Now, before we start to move, I want to take a moment to talk about the soles of the feet and the fascia, or the connective tissue on the soles of the feet. So believe it or not, when you work on kind of breaking up the tightness in the fascia of the soles of the feet, you're going to influence an opening all up through the backs of the whole back side of the body, really, so including the hamstrings. So if you're particularly tight in your hamstrings, there's something you can try maybe before your practice, which is to work on loosening up this fascia, this connective tissue here on the soles of the feet. And there's a couple ways you can do that. If you have a tennis ball or like a tune-up ball, a lacrosse ball, anything like that, you can use that and actually put it on the floor, step on it with one foot, and just sort of roll your foot around on that tennis ball from front to back. It's super helpful. If you don't have that handy and you have a yoga block, you could even do this with a yoga block. So you could set it down. Probably a good idea to brace the block against a wall, but you could push. So we'll do it for each foot here. Push the sole of your foot into that block. So you just kind of improvise with whatever you have, and you go back from the front to the back of the foot. So the ball of the foot to the heel, maybe move laterally a little bit, side to side. Get that nice kind of opening there in the soles of the feet. One side. Spend as much time as you feel like you have on each foot. Okay, so you work that through. Now, if you don't have a ball or a yoga block, you could even do this Third option would be to sit down on the floor, 1 foot at a time, and use your thumbs. Just kind of work through each sole of each foot, from the front of the foot to the back of the foot. And it might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it will have, I bet you anything, it will give you a measurable result as you move through your practice. You might actually feel like the immediate effects of it opening up the back line of your body. Your hamstrings might feel a little bit more, little less tense, let's put it that way. So that's like a really nice starting technique before you even start to move. So we're going to begin our practice today on all fours. So just take a moment in tabletop here, maybe circle out the wrists and the ankles, circle the wrists and the hips a few times each way. Start to draw your core muscles in. You might even feel a little outer hip stretch right where you are. And we're going to take the right foot back. So extend your right foot back, tuck your right toes under, a few cow-cat right here. Inhale, arch your back, look up. And exhale, round the spine, push the floor away. 2 more times on this side. Inhale, you're pressing through the ball of the foot and the heel. Exhale, round. 1 more time, inhale. And push the floor away. Exhale, round. Good. Let's lift the right leg up off the floor. Circle out your ankle here. Let's give it a little lateral movement. Now point your toes. We'll tap down for 4, 3. Try to keep your leg extended there. 2, you'll feel that in your glute. Start to warm up the backs of the legs. 1, now bend your knee, flex your foot. Pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend out. So extend through the hamstrings, flex your toes. Circle your right foot over to the left side, look over your left shoulder, and stretch out. And keep pushing through your heel. And swing it all the way back. Lower your right knee down, and just take a moment to reset, microbend your elbows. Left foot comes back. Tuck your toes under. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, push the floor away. So keep driving through that left heel. Inhale, arch. Exhale, press. Inhale, arch. Exhale, press. Find your neutral spine. Slide the shoulders away from the ears. Lift the left leg up. Point the toes. So stretch out through the back of that left leg. And 4 little taps down. 4 and 3, 2, 1. Lift the left leg up. Bend the knee. Flex the foot. Pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend it out. Sweep your left foot around, tuck your left toes under, and then gaze over your right shoulder. So really keep moving through the left heel. Take your left leg up, square yourself off, and bring your left knee down to the floor. Now, if you do have a pair of blocks, you can grab them now, incorporate them. Bring your hands on top of the blocks. I have mine at the middle height. Tuck your toes and just work yourself back into a little bit of an exploratory down dog here. So let your head hang. Let the weight dump back into your heels and pedal out your legs in place. So I want you to focus on really dropping the center of each heel into the floor. Spreading the shoulder blades and then sliding them down your back. So if you don't have the blocks, you can do this with your palms on the floor. Just emphasize getting some nice weight back in your feet. Good. Now let's draw both heels down. Now walk the feet a little wider than the hips. So maybe out to the edges of your mat, and get your hamstrings just to kind of open. Now bend the knees, tilt the tailbone up. So what you're doing is tilting your pelvis forward and driving the heels down. And then maybe straighten the legs slightly. So we don't need to worry about getting the legs totally straight. We're working some more heat here. As you inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk your feet up toward those blocks at the top of the mat. Now you can slide the blocks back. If you're not using blocks, you can bring your hands to your shins. You can also bring them to your thighs or your hips. So you want to be comfortable, little bit of spinal extension. Now bend your knees, tilt your pelvis forward. We're going to do some walks in place here. So bend the left knee, extend the right hip back, right heel down, and then switch sides. So notice I'm not lifting my heels at all. I'm just letting the heels press down into the floor as I'm sort of flossing the hamstrings here without trying to do too much deep and heavy stretching. It's building up a little bit of flow here, a little bit of heat with a small amount of that stretch. Keep your pelvis tilted forward. We'll pulse here for 4. Breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Now bending both knees, send the blocks off to the side. Hinge or roll. Bring yourself all the way up to standing. All the way up to the top of your mat. Little vinyasa flow here. Reach up, stretch up. Exhale, bend the knees a little bit. Take your heart forward. So keep that pelvis tilting forward as you exhale. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Step the right foot back. Bring the right knee down. Simple here. Reach up. As you exhale, bring your palms down. Pick up your back knee. Step back to high plank pose. Take an inhale. Exhale through chaturanga. Point your toes. Squeeze your glutes. Draw your shoulders down your back. Cobra. Take your toes under and come back to a down dog. Right leg lifts. So take a down dog split here. So let's work on the left leg. Bend the left knee and bend the right knee. Fan the hip open. So see if you can just keep that left heel on the floor. Get a big stretch, but contraction there as well in the back of the left leg. Stretch the right foot forward. Step the right foot up between your hands. Come into a twisted lunge. Stack your shoulders. Pull your right outer hip back. Lengthen your spine. So let this be a good stretch out. Circle your right hand down. Step your left foot up to the top of the mat. Soften the knees, chest to thighs. Exhale. Inhale, hinge or roll. Big stretch up. Exhale, soften the knees. Swan dive again. So pick the tops of the sitting bones up. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, step your left foot to the back. Left knee comes down, drive into your right heel. Reach your arms up. Stretch up. Get a nice side body opening. Lower your hands back down, plant the palms, step back, plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Get your back bend. Lower down a little bit, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Again, play with the dynamics here by softening your knees. Take your chest toward your thighs and lift the sit bones up. So we're focusing on the legs. Lift the left leg up. Start to draw the right heel down and maybe bend the right knee. Try to get that right heel heavy. Bend the left knee. Square off your chest and just kind of check out what's happening there. You can maybe straighten the right leg a little bit or keep it bent. Extend the left leg up. Exhale, step your left foot between your thumbs. Take a rotation here in your lunge. So pull the left outer hip back. Lift the right thigh up. So get your stretch in there. As you exhale, step your right foot up to the top of the mat. Take a ragdoll here. So your feet can be a little bit wider. Play again. Practice getting the weight out of your heels, softening your knees and pulling the tops of the sitting bones up. So that's working away from gravity. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Now take your right heel down, warrior one. Backstroke the arms. So get yourself into your first warrior pose for a breath. Really get that stretch through the back of the leg. And then exhale, open out to second warrior pose. Soften the shoulder blades. Inhale, Flying warrior, stretch up. Now exhale, take a skandasana or side lunge. So you can bring your hand to your right thigh or drop right into your deeper skandasana. Flex the left foot. Maybe interlock your fingers, get a little shoulder stretch here. Good, let's push off that back leg. Take a wide leg forward fold. So this is a great way to approach your hamstring heat and stretch, right? By working the feet wider apart, widen the thighs. Lift your shoulder heads up here for just one more breath. Press down. As you inhale, walk the fingertips forward, push down into your feet, rise all the way up to stand. Left toes turn forward, right toes turn in. Now hug the feet toward one another. Pull the ribs in just a little bit, reverse triangle, inhaling. Lengthen your left side. Exhale, send your left sit bone toward your right. So think of this as expansion through the legs, although you're still pushing down through the feet. Draw the feet toward one another and breathe. From your triangle pose, keep pushing down through your feet. Swim the right arm up over. Come into a twisted lunge. Stack the shoulders. And take a vinyasa here if you want. You can skip that and go straight back to down dog instead. Back to your downward facing dog. Walk your feet up to the top of your mat. So take a few steps here. Find your ragdoll pose. Play with what you feel like you need to work on here, right? So most of us don't want to live in the land of straight legs. We want to bend the knees and take your chest toward your thighs. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Bend the knees, step the left foot back, left heel down, warrior one, backstroke the arms. So really strong legs, find a little twist in your torso, lunge into your front leg. As you exhale, take yourself into your second warrior pose. Push down through your feet, lift up through your side ribs, look beyond the fingertips of your front hand. On your next breath, pivot your feet to the side, flying warrior. From flying warrior, lift up nice and tall. Start to bend into your left knee. You can flex your right toes. You can stay here. You can drop down into your skandasana. You can interlace your hands, reach out. Now push off your left foot, bring your fingertips to the floor. Take a nice big forward fold here, 2 to 3 breaths. You can plant your palms flat, push down through your heels, lift up through your tailbone. And then as you inhale, walk your fingertips forward, rise up. Come back up to standing. Set up for triangle pose, right toes forward, left toes in. Hug the feet together. Draw your front and side ribs in. Reverse triangle. Lift up, stretch up. Exhale. Bend from the pelvis, right? So initiate from your pelvis. Lower your right hand down. Stack the shoulders, lengthen, use your legs, draw the feet toward one another. Tucking the chin here a little bit. Take your left arm over your left ear, bend your right knee and find a twist. So come right into a twist here. Good, let's lower the right hand down to the floor. Step back to dog pose. So reset here for a moment in your downward dog. Shake out your head, roll the inner thighs back, lift your right leg up, inhale. Exhale, step your right foot through. Now we're entering into some of these drills that I was talking about. If you have a yoga block, take your block on your heel. So take your heel on your block. So put your heel on this block. If you don't have a block, you can do the same thing, just keeping your foot on the floor. This elevation is just going to sort of emphasize the hamstring opening here and bringing your chest a little closer to your thigh. So we'll do 2 sets on the right and 2 sets on the left, fingertips on the floor. We're going to bring the chest toward the thigh as you bend your knee for 5. Exhale, straighten a little bit, pull it in. 4, dig your heel down. 3, 2, 1. Now we hold for a count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend, pulse. 5, exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 5, 4, 3, chest to thigh, contract your quad. 2, 1. Lift your chest and scoot this back knee in a little bit and sweep this foot back, right? So you can extend out. If that feels good to extend your leg before you go to side 2. So get a little extension there in the front of the hip. Let's bring this knee down, shift your block, and set yourself up on side 2. So left heel comes onto the block. Scoot your right knee back, tent your fingers. And again, you want to be generous in bending the knee because this is what's giving you the pelvic tilt, right? We want more of a forward tilt of the pelvis to productively stretch the hamstrings. So we're going to bend the knee for 5. Exhale, straighten a little bit. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now try to keep that connection. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend. 5. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift your chest, scoot this back knee in, take your left foot back, lift your left leg up and stretch it all out through the front of the hip. Good, shoulders back. Let's take the left knee down, set the blocks off to the side. Now before we go to our next one, come onto your back here. Just let's open up the fronts of the hips a little bit. So we contracted the quads, right? You want to try to really contract those quads in those half splits to open up the hamstrings. So let's open up the fronts of the thighs just a little bit here. Push down into your feet. Press up through your sides, through your hip points. Walk your shoulders underneath you and push down through the 4 corners of your feet here. Just give yourself the opposite movement here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower yourself all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. I have one more thing that you can work on from a standing position here. So bring yourself to the middle of your mat and come up to stand. So come on up. Notice how you're feeling in the backs of the legs. Step your feet about hips width apart. Now we're going to step the right foot forward, left foot back. And you want to have a little width, right? So a little horizontal space between the front foot and the back foot. So you don't want to be on a tightrope here. We're going to keep the heels on the floor, and we'll just do 5 on each side as you push down through the soles of the feet. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we're going to tilt the pelvis forward, bend the back knee, keep the front leg straight for 5. Lift up, inhale. 4, 3, so feel that stretch here. 2, and 1. Shoulders stay back. Lift up, step up, switch sides. So the right foot comes back, left foot forward. It's like you're setting up almost for like a revolved triangle type of configuration in the feet. Push down through the 4 corners, square your chest. Inhale. Exhale, with your hands, move your hip points back for 5. Lift up, inhale. 4. Exhale, 3. Try to keep your spine long, heels down, push through your feet. 2. And 1. Bow forward, Step your feet up. Let's take a nice side body stretch. So plie a little bit, bend into the knees, maybe lift the heels, get some sensation there back in the feet and the ankles. Swing the arms up, grab your right wrist, extend over to the left, and just check in here. Notice if you feel, right, a little more expansion, but at the same time, stability in the backs of the legs, right? So you're not feeling like there's any big hyperextension in the knees. You have a good, steady, balanced stretch through the backs of the legs. So from here, you could, if this is sort of the end of your practice, this mini practice, you could come onto your back. You could do another bridge to happy baby to a twist. If you are using this as sort of an entryway into more of the rest of your practice, you can skip this and go on to whatever you're doing. But this might feel good to open up here for like 2 to 3 breaths. Push down into the inside edges of your feet. And again, you're contracting the hamstrings here, building strength. Draw your heels back. And then slowly lower yourself down. Gently bring knees to chest. Flex your feet and open up into happy baby pose. So flexing the feet is another way to stretch these hamstrings. Flex the feet and take the outsides, take your thighs to the outsides of your ribs. Bring your right knee into your chest, extend long through your left leg. Cross your body, open into a twist. Roll to your left outer hip, open up your chest here. Just use this as an opportunity to bring some attention back to your upper body again. Come back to your center as you exhale. Switch your knees. Reach for your left knee. Extend your right leg out. Keep your spine long. On your exhale, rotate to your outer right hip. Extend your left arm. Find some balance right here. Relax into your breath. With an exhale, come onto your back again. Hug your knees right into your chest. You can hang out here a bit longer in your rest, in your Shavasana. So, as always, I hope that this practice is of service to you in your journey, whatever you're working on. And thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you the next time. Namaste.